It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
What is happening, Lake of the Ozarks? It's time for another weekly edition of A Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And we got a good one for you this week. Hey, you see the powerboat that basically exploded down at the Grand Prix at Lake Michigan?
Yeah, I don't know why that doesn't happen more, man. That was funky.
Luckily, both drivers all right. We'll tell you about that. Plus, really cool partnership. Lake TV officially announcing the broadcast partnership for the Wiener Nationals on September 3rd.
Kind of an unstable name, isn't it? The Wiener Nationals?
Yeah, for a guy like you, I could see you struggling.
What's that all about?
Around that.
Right?
Oscar Mayer Wiener. I want to be an Oscar Mayer Wiener. Listen, it's a racing event. We'll tell you all about it on the other side of the break. Also, Midwest Beach Wrestling Nationals.
Yeah.
I was expecting just like a competitive, fun wrestling. Mm-hmm. Not so much. These guys were trying to kill each other.
I
Guys,
saw that.
girls, kids alike. It was awesome.
That's scary.
We got video to show you. And the Ozarks Amphitheater starting their home stretch. But listen, they might have another announce. And they've got a huge margarita and taco festival. Pretty excited about that.
Wow.
And
that's right up my alley, man.
hey, right over in our alley, our neck of the woods, did you see all of the shakeup going on at the Village of Sunrise Beach?
I did see that. That's pretty amazing. I don't know if it's good or bad, but
Who'd you make mad now?
Wow, that's amazing.
We'll tell you all about that, but really a lot of resignations in the Village of Sunrise Beach. And we got some quick ramblings as always, plus we'll take a look at what's happening on Lake TV, because there's a ton happening on Lake TV. But first, before we go to break, last week, I believe, of the 56th anniversary sale, did you know you can win a car?
Really?
Yeah, you come in.
Here at Slumberland?
Yeah.
Wow.
You scan the QR code. They're conveniently located all over the store. You know, you scan your phone and you could win a car.
How do you do that?
Well, you just they've got play cards all over, and
Okay.
you scan it with your phone, pulls up and tells you how. I thought you had to make a purchase, but apparently not. You just come in, you scan it, and you could win a car, plus take advantage of all the savings. To tell us more with Slumberland at the Lake, Daryl Cunningham.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We still have our 56th anniversary sale going on. You need to come check it out. Great deals for every room of the house. Come sit on it, lay on it, test drive it. We have great deals, special financing, and come win a new car. Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
All right, so the racing season continues. We're looking forward to Shootout, not a sanctioned event, but a huge event right around the corner. As a matter of fact, mini Shootout is this upcoming or next weekend, believe it or not. Only about 10 days away from the mini Shootout. How did we get here?
Yeah, I don't know. It just goes so fast. Every year, you know, you kind of suffer through spring. All of a sudden it gets hot, and then August and September blow by.
Well, now that the racing circuit is in full swing, some big-time racing events already taking place in this last weekend was the Great Lakes Grand Prix, which is a big event in Lake Michigan. And we saw video of it. Most people have seen video of it. And two people actually walked away from this dramatic crash at the Great Lakes. This boat here, the Dirty Money Racing Team, it's a 36-foot skater, and it was racing in this event when it hit that wave, causing it to snap in two. Now you see the video, you see the photos, and the team did post a update on Facebook today at the Grand Lakes Grand Prix team. Dirty Money Racing had an unfortunate accident. Thank God above that both Rusty and Bill, driver and throttleman, are okay. The boat unfortunately is not okay. It suffered catastrophic damage. They said they hit a flyer and the boat stuffed, then a stern came over the bow and it broke in half, or the bow, I guess. I'm learning all the boat terminology and trying to keep it together with the articles and stuff, but I saw the video and all I could think was, I cannot believe they lived.
Yeah, me too. And I like the translation from, I think it's Lake Expo, because I don't know what they just said. They said, you know, hit a flyer and the boat suffered, the stern came over the bow. So translated, the boat jumped a wave and then stuffed into the trough of the next wave, plunging the bow or the front of the boat into the wave. The speed of the momentum of the boat caused the stern or the back of the boat to keep rocketing forward, essentially splitting it in half, basically.
I like how
Love that.
Expo put it, translation. You could have either like a drinking game or a random game on how often does Will mispronounced something in the boating industry or misunderstood a classification.
That just makes us more lovable that we are such idiots.
So dumb.
Yeah.
I love it. But I saw that video and I was like, man, we just had the crazy crash on land that we're seeing more of. Of course, we talked about the charges that were filed. And then our good buddy who's on set watching all the way from Sarasota, Florida, David Comiskis, him and his wife Karen watch every single week.
Yeah.
He said, you remember that story about that boat that kind of got stuck on the bluff? He informs us that's still sitting there like up out of the water.
Really?
Yeah, we ought to go by and see if we can get a photo or video or
Well,
something.
I got to do that, man. That'd be cool.
But
There's
all
been a
of
lot
these-
of crashes this year.
Yeah, all the boat crashes, all of the crazy things taking place. I just say the lake is getting busier. Of course, this one was in Michigan, but
It's so cool though with David here from Sarasota, and he grew up in Illinois, but he watches us on Roku in Sarasota, Florida. And I've got some friends here from Dallas this week that watch us every week in Dallas on Roku. So kudos to all those folks watching us on Roku. How about that, baby?
yeah, it always makes my day when somebody says, "Oh, we watch you on Cup of Coffee," which
Yeah.
we get a lot more than I would anticipate anymore. All right, so pretty big, exciting news. Listen, Lake TV is known for so many different events and so much different content. Something completely different for you out there that like racing. Listen, Lake TV has officially been named the broadcast partner of the 2023 Wiener Nationals on Sunday, September 3rd. AMA, the American Motorsports Association, alongside Reed Millard and Lake TV present the Wiener Nationals racing and family-friendly event. Again, it's Sunday, September 3rd, and it's going to be in Moberly, Missouri at the Moberly Motorsports Park. Now, they're going to have amazing racing. It's dirt racing, pretty exciting. They do a whole bunch of different heats. They do what's called a pill draw, where, all of the different people pull and they get paired with a car.
Okay.
And that car can win the overall prize. And if your pull or your pill wins the overall prize, then you get a chunk of money as well and you get prizes. But the big check for the overall winner, the racers, is $10,000.
Wow.
At the end of the night. But that's not it. They're going to have skydivers. They're going to have World War II stealth bomber flyover.
Cool.
They're going to have fireworks, live music, hot dog eating contest, food trucks and vendors, and they're even going to have some surprise celebrity guest appearances. We had Luther Burden there last year, who of course was Mizzou's star receiver, will make his start as a sophomore. But listen, tickets available at the gate, or you can call Jason Goebel at 660-833-8732 for more info. We're going to kick off with the pre-race show with Hall of Famer and legendary Scott Bloomquist, along with Scotty Cook at 4:30. And we'll have racing and entertainment from 5 to 10. We'll have all the action on all Lake TV platforms in 4 states on Como Connect, on Roku, on our web stream, Facebook Live, as well as all other platforms you guys might watch Lake TV on. But we're really excited, as we went last year, just to check it out, take it in. It was one of the coolest days of the year last year. They packed that place.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I've had people come up to me and say, what is the Wiener Nationals? Because they seem to think it's like a wiener dog race or something, right? No, that's not what it is. It's like dirt track racing. It's
There
really
is
cool.
that.
They have that too?
There is the Wiener Nationals, which is like the Dachshund or the Wiener Dog National Championship or dog show. They call it the Wiener Nationals. So when you search the Wiener Nationals, search Moberly, Missouri, or AMA or Lake TV. But I had no idea how intense this was. I mean, there's some big name drivers that come. They're flying around, and I made the mistake of getting too close to the track last year with my cell phone, putting my hand like through the fence, not really knowing when these guys came around the corner. Oh, I had mud and rock come in and hit me in the side. And so it's just intense. It's really cool and being that loud and that fast. So again, mark your calendar, Sunday, September 3rd. And if you can't make it, because it's so much fun to be there, mark your calendar to watch it right here on Lake TV.
And you're going to be broadcasting that, right?
I will not be, because I'm not a racing guy.
Okay.
I'll be more either directing, or Andrew might have me running water to the crew or something. But no, we'll have Scott Bloomquist along with Scotty Cook, and we will have another third personality in there as well to be named. So
okay, cool.
They're going to try to keep me out of the racing booth,
I don't, racing is so cool, but I don't know anything about it.
Right.
So you almost have to have those experts who know what they're talking about.
I would be like the Rod Smith of the shootout, right? Like I don't really know it, but I could keep it going. It could sound great and have fun with it. The problem is I'm just not Rod Smith.
Rod is so great. We love Rod.
He is too. And you know what I've heard so many times is you guys sound identical. And you do. You and Rod sounds very similar.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Look similar. Yak similar.
We're like separated at birth, I
think so.
You know? What do they call that? They call that a doppelganger, I think.
Yeah,
when somebody looks
kind of
just
are.
like you, you're right.
So listen, we could ask, who looks more like who? Who came first, you or Rod Smith?
You know, more people say I look more like Fabio or
Right.
Brad Pitt. So, you know,
Right.
that's probably the better question right there.
I love it. I agree. Good call. All right, so as we move on, we had Cody Hummer a couple weeks ago. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
He was the event organizer and chair of the Midwest Beach Wrestling Nationals, and I didn't really know what that was when we first talked with him. And he said it was beach wrestling. We have it at Ron's, and so I thought it was pretty cool. We interviewed him. Well, we went out Sunday, and as you see here, a lot more was going on than I had anticipated.
Yeah. We showed up too. We went actually to church on the beach that morning at Captain Ron's. And my goodness, at what time was that? Well, it was like 10 o'clock. There was already 400 people there for the wrestling tournament. It was amazing. I was very impressed.
Yeah, and if you didn't get to see yet, but there's video. I posted a reel late Monday night to the William Holtz Lake TV page. Megan got a reel, and then of course you could see all these highlights. But you could just see how intense they are and how serious they take this. 180 plus competitors,
wow.
Over 350 spectators, and they break it up ages K through 8th grade, of course high school division, and then what they call the open division, which is post-high school, so over 18 years old. And they actually, before I got there, they had some of the 35 and 40-year-old class that was wrestling, and it's different for each division as far as the weight class, but you see just how fun this was. The way it was set up, they had the two rings simultaneously going on.
Yep.
You know, they had the pavilion surrounding everything, and I gotta give it up to Austin Roper and Cody Hummer because it was really well organized. They had registration tents and tables, and that went off really well. They had a great PA system and did some announcing. They had podium and medals, and I was really surprised just how well it was run and it was organized and how many people were there. And I just don't think as many people knew about this as would have attended, because once you see it, I mean, it's impossible not to get excited about it. You see these 8-9-year-old guys, man, they are body slamming each other. And,
Yeah.
And they always afterwards get up and shake hands. And, you know, so the camaraderie and the sportsmanship is big in wrestling. And I talked to Cody Sunday, and he said, most of these people, they want to go to this event. If they wrestled in high school and then wrestled in college, and you know, this is something they love to do and they continue to do all the way up through their 40s and 50s. And both Cody and Austin said, man, it was a great day, great turnout. Thankful to their sponsors, thankful to all the wrestlers and the spectators, and it was just a beautiful day for the 7th annual Midwest Beach Wrestling Nationals at Captain Ron's. This was the 3rd year they had been at Ron's, and I asked him, are you guys going to be at Ron's again next year? And he said that they would be making announcements soon, and so, but it's an event I think can grow. I mean, it's different and so entertaining.
I was surprised at how big, you know, when Cody was here talking to us and he was giving us the numbers, I was kind of surprised at how big it was already. And my goodness, this weekend, it had to take a big leap forward because it was just packed. And there were a lot of competitors there and everything. I'm surprised. You know, I guess because I'm getting so old now, you know, if I tried that, I'd look like that boat that broke in half, you know. But those people go out there and they take it seriously, man. They were having a great time, but they were there to win.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't step in, I wouldn't call it the ring. I mean, I wouldn't, the pool noodle circle. We're going to call it the pool noodle circle against any of them, including the 8-year-olds.
Oh, my gosh,
They got techniques and way they can pull your chicken wing and just, you'll crush, you'll fall over, man.
Yep.
So, hey, stay tuned to Lake TV because we're going to have more info on that. I'm hoping to do some more with that event next year, so stay tuned. All right, the Ozarks Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Man, it's huge summer so far.
What a busy summer. They've had, I don't know, 20, 25 concerts this year. They've just been unbelievable.
And here's what's cool is, you know, a couple weekends ago they had Dierks Bentley.
Yeah.
And they set a record. Over 7,500 tickets sold.
Wow.
To that show. Packed house, and they've got some big upcoming shows that they're running some pretty cool specials on. Like next weekend, you've got Incubus and the Blue Travelers, and they're running specials, 3 tickets for $99 on both of those.
Wow.
And then also, Skillet and Theory of a Dead Man are on the docket. And I talked to Mary Kay, and she said, listen, believe it or not, we actually may have another pretty exciting announce.
Really?
That kind of fell into our lap, and it made sense, so we're working out the details, but there could be a massive announce still coming for the amphitheater.
Well, and I know there's a show coming up with the Doobie Brothers and Michael McDonald, which is sold out, I think, because we're going to that, so that we're looking forward to that. It's just amazing what Tom and Mary Kay are doing at the amphitheater.
And they're incredible staff, and what's great is I talked to Mary Kay, and I said, so as a whole, Mary Kay, I'm like, you guys still have a lot of shows, a lot to still get done, but how would you say the season's gone? And she said, I'll tell you, considering how the season started with the fire, it was so tough and heart-wrenching.
I forgot about that, yeah.
She said, we're just overwhelmed with thankfulness and gratitude for the community support, the way everyone helped us get over the little bump in the road, and they're on their way to their biggest season ever. And she says, from the bottom of her heart, thank you for the continued support, buying tickets, sponsoring, attending, to the employees and staff that continue, to the vendors. She said they cannot thank everybody enough. And I don't know if you saw, but the Taco and Margarita Festival is going to be massive.
I did see that.
September 16th.
That's right up my alley right there,
Gotta keep
man.
you away from that,
I'm telling
baby.
you what.
Got to keep you away from that. But it's going to be a massive event. They're going to have everything, lots of taco and food trucks, tons of different house-made margaritas and vendor options there. But then they're going to have a Battle of the Bands event, which is going to be awesome. Proceeds will benefit Wonderland Camp. And then there's $5,000 cash being given away for the Battle of the Bands. And that's going to be a really cool event that will also include live pro wrestling at the amphitheater.
Wow, that'll be cool. On stage?
I'm hoping on stage.
Wow.
So all this wrestling has me all kinds of excited, but we just love the folks at the Ozarks Amphitheater, and we're so happy for them and the success they've had. And like Mary Kay said, with the way the year started, they really could have postponed, they could have, waited or held off, but I don't know if you've heard this before, but in that industry, the show must go on, and that's the mindset they bought into.
Well, and you know what they've done is they've really built so much credibility and notoriety there at the amphitheater, because that's a small world. Those entertainers, there's only so many of them, and they talk to each other, and that's one of the reasons why the amphitheater is getting so big and busy now, is because the artists, the acts, the bands, they talk to each other and say, man, we just had the best experience of our lives at the Ozark Amphitheater. And so other bands call and want to see if they can get in and come here and be a part of that. And that's how it's getting so big. And again, Mary Kay and Tom have everything to do with that.
Yeah, it's funny. So when I was talking to Mary Kay, we were kind of reminiscent and looking back at 2015 when they had their open, it was September of 2015, Anelia Earhart was the girl's name. I was supposed to MC the show. I hyperextended my knee the night before and was in a wheelchair, so I couldn't be there.
Okay.
Not even kidding. It's just hilarious, the history. And we were talking about that, 2015 now, 8 years later, and she said, can you believe that over the last 8 years, how the lake has taken off, our organizations have taken off? And I had said to her at one point in time, early 2015, that one day the amphitheater is going to be to these artists what Red Rocks is to these artists.
Kinda
That they
is,
say,
yeah.
man, hey, we got to get our band on that stage. We got to play at that venue. And I do feel like the amphitheater is already there and well on their way to being that for these bands and these groups.
Sure seems like it, yeah. It's getting so popular, it's amazing.
When are you going to be on the Ozarks Amphitheater stage?
I've been on there, baby. I've been there.
Performing?
Well, kind of.
Judging.
Yeah. I've been judging, yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, so on a more serious note, Chris, I was kind of surprised to see this, but major shakeup at the village of Sunrise Beach.
I was blown away. So, and the article says political turmoil in the village of Sunrise Beach, which is where you live, right? This is right in your backyard here. Multiple staff members and board members have resigned, and the village canceled its contract with their longtime attorney. Okay, so get this. Special meeting Friday, July 29th. It was announced that Sunrise Beach clerk Jenny Nelson had resigned. The board approved Nelson's resignation at the meeting. The newly hired city manager, Steve Roth, will step into his position Monday, August 21st. So that's coming up. Roth formerly worked at the city manager in Pacific, Missouri, small town, I'm guessing. The board also approved terminating the contract with Williams Law Firm, Sunrise Beach Village attorney Greg Williams and Sunrise Beach prosecuting attorney Zane Williams. They've worked as the village attorney since 1988. So that goes back a ways. When asked for comment, Greg Williams stated, "It's been a pleasure." According to Schneider, the board has been discussing an agreement. Legal fees charged by the Williams Law Firm were too high. So they are saving some money on that. The board also approved signing contract with Nathan Nicholas for the village attorney position. So that'll cover those two Williams. The board also approved the signing of the contract with Todd Smith for the position of village prosecuting attorney. On Monday, July 31st, Sunrise Beach Public Works clerk Rhonda Steele, I think is her name, submitted her letter of resignation. She plans to work with her husband in the family business. Sunrise Beach Deputy Clerk Debbie Thompson expressed her intent to resign. I mean, this just goes on and on and on. It's amazing.
It does, and it's interesting because the ones that are staying are the ones that were recently elected. In the April 23 election, Susan Schneider, the chairman, she was elected. Gregory Gordon was also elected. Steve Barthel was a current alderman. He'll stay, or village trustee, and Steve Carter. Now, the next Board of Trustee meeting is on Monday, August 14th at 6 p.m. if you'd like to attend, because there's a lot of change.
That'd be entertaining.
The board meeting is also available live on YouTube by going to the Village of Sunrise Beach's YouTube page. But, one thing that stands out to me here is we looked into this a little bit when it had come to the purchasing of a new building.
Yeah.
And it just looked like so many things had been done one way for so long. There was no audit, there was no reasoning, there was no one questioning. And so when they're done so long, how can you as a village have the same city attorney for 35 years?
Yeah, it makes you kind of wonder, doesn't it? And it kind of looked like it was all in the family, too, because one Williams brother was the city attorney. The other Williams brother, it looked like, was the prosecuting attorney. So, I don't really know what's going on. And like you said, the Sunrise Beach Board chairman is Susan Schneider. And she said, we have a list of goals we want to accomplish in the 2 years we have this term. We want to move forward in a positive way. We're looking at a new city hall options, and we want someone who wants to make Sunrise Beach a better place to live and work.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, I think that this is probably all stuff moving in the positive direction. I hope it is. Sometimes you just got to go in and clean house, you know, and so maybe that's what's happening here.
Interesting. It is interesting because you didn't ever hear anything about the little bitty village of Sunrise Beach until, over the last year and a half, you had the sewage dumping. You remember that?
Yeah.
The water treatment system. Of course, you had the new building and the outcry from the locals. So now you've heard a few things, and now you have a new chairperson. And just like that, not even 4 months into the new regime, everyone is resigning or intends to resign. So we'll keep you posted on that. As we move forward, quick ramblings. All I wanted to say about down in the Great Prix was IMCON Monster win the Great Lakes Grand Prix for their class, which was massive. Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle, not fanboying over here or anything, but our local guys got first place, really big. We'll see them at Shootout. Also, last weekend was the duck drop on Lake TV Facebook page. And did you watch that at all?
I did. That was great.
Cool.
Yeah,
the ducks seem to be really close together.
Yeah.
The numbers were really, really close. I think those ducks had like jetpacks on them or something. I didn't buy any tickets this year. I'm disappointed.
They did everything because we had Mike Waggett here with us, and he was telling us all about it. They kind of changed things up. They weren't selling tickets like they usually do. Everything was online this year. So if you didn't go online to buy tickets, then you didn't get tickets. And we didn't either for the first time in several years, just because we didn't think to go online to get them.
It's hard because, the only reason you typically do is because you're constantly reminded, or you don't want to say no, and the tickets are there. You're like, all right, I'll do it. But if you have to go online, it's easier to say no. But I know they sell a ton of tickets and another really successful event. All right, now we got to talk about the important stuff. what's on Lake TV, and there is so much happening right now on Lake TV.
Yeah, we've got Michael Wagner and Gary Mitchell, and they are with the Habitat Restore, Habitat for Humanity. So the Restore is out on South 5, just a little bit off the road there. But if you don't know anything about Habitat for Humanity or the Restore, the place they sell all that stuff, then watch the show this week. That's the Community Spotlight show. You can see that at 9:02, 3:02, and 7:02. But another just really, really good local organization that helps people out, helps people build houses, goes to charity and all that stuff. So check that out on the Community Spotlight show.
Also, we have a new fishing show.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to be awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
We've been waiting for fishing. You've been asking for fishing on Lake TV.
Yeah, we've got 2 new fishing shows now, and it's incredible. So you got to be watching for this. There's Lake Fork Guy Fishing, who's incredible. He's got over 1 million viewers on Facebook, I think. Yeah,
wow.
Over 1 million subscribers. And then a guy from Missouri, local guy here from southern Missouri, who does some just amazing, he's called Tim Horse Monty Fishing, right? Gabe Montgomery, and he just does an amazing job.
He has a great time, too.
Oh, yeah, and both these guys they know so much about it. They're talking about the lures to use and fishing line and blah, 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 and when you go do this, when you go that. Somebody like me, who it's just a rumor that there's fish in the lake, you don't want to see us. These guys know what they're doing, right? It's awesome.
You want to know how to be a real professional fisherman?
How?
Pull into Long John Silver's.
Yeah, there you go.
Fish
Absolutely.
For dinner.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm really excited about these 2 new shows. That's something we've lacked on Lake TV is more outdoors. We're starting to add that, and I'm really excited about the work you and Michelle are doing with the programming and the scheduling. So keep that up, Uncle C. The doc series.
Yeah.
6th episode.
That's so great. Well, like our friend comes in from Sarasota, David, and he says, by the way, Will, I love that doc series. That's like the greatest thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, we are well over a couple billion views from season 1, and we're excited to see the way season 2 continues to perform. But episode 6 of the 12-part series is this Thursday. If you're watching after Thursday, then you can watch it now on demand. But 6 more coming, and we're already starting to work on docs for next year's series. So stay tuned. And listen, my favorite time of the year is fall because it's football and it's getting ready for hockey season and it's time for apple pie and sweatpants and bonfires. So
turkey and stuffing and
what's the call you do? The turkey call. So it's football season and it's a great time because high school football Friday nights, you get a little bit of a break. Mike Bissell and I, we're going to have the call on high school football this year. But listen, we've also got the high school football coaches show.
Yeah.
And it's going to be big because you got Coach Pitts with Camdenton for the first time. It's not ashore. And then, of course, Coach Jolly with Osage. That's great every week.
And I just talked with both the coaches yesterday, and Coach Jolly at Osage, he took his team to the district championship last year. Coach Barr Pitts, first year at Camdenton. First time ashore, hasn't been the head football coach in nearly 50 years, so that's going to be fun and interesting. And then our first game of the year is Friday night, August 25th. Rolla at Camdenton. Coach Pitt's first game as head coach. You and Hall of Famer Mike Bissell with the call this year. It's going to be better than ever.
I don't know about that. Listen, the last 3 years would be tough to beat, but I am looking forward to seeing what Mike does on TV. 45-year radio career in the Hall of Fame.
Already in the Hall of Fame.
Here in the local area, and so he brings a well of knowledge, and he's really familiar with a lot of these local schools and kids, probably called their parents and grandparents games. Pretty special. So lots of stuff happening on Lake TV. Most importantly, guys, thank you so much for watching. I want to tell you guys that you got to stay tuned to the new Lake TV Shootout coverage Facebook group.
Yeah.
Because Lake TV's got some big plans with Shootout on the horizon. We've got the mini shootout in a couple of weeks. We've got the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We've got the street party. There will be the poker run, and then, of course, both days of the shootout. And again, Lake TV will be the place to watch the shootout again this year, whether it's on Como Connect Channel 90. You can also catch it on Roku, which is super easy to find on Roku. Over 50,000 channel downloads on Roku now nationwide. Wow. And then you can also look for our Amazon Fire Stick channel on demand. You can watch it right there in HD. Don't miss a beat from your dock, from your car, from the airplane, from wherever you're at. You can watch as long as you've got good internet. I'll end with this. Love this guy. Love our DOP, Andrew Evans, and I love you guys for watching. Big shout out to Slumberland at the Lake. Until next week, we'll see you then.